Today we're going to be talking about a biblical business blueprint of David and Goliath. So we'll be reading from 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 23 through 59. It's a business framework for identifying opportunity, assessing risk, negotiating value, leveraging unique advantages, and executing with precision. So the first point we're going to go over is market conditions and crisis opportunities. And like I said, we're going to go based off of 1 Samuel 17, chapter 17. So in this scenario, David, he speaks to his brothers, and Goliath appears. And Israel armies, uh, they flee in fear. So let's take a look at that. We're going to read chapter 17. We're going to start at verse 22 down to 24. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them, and all of the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. So Goliath comes into the, the front of the Israeli camp, and he threatens the children of Israel. 1 Samuel 17 verse 4 tells us, and there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And we're going to go down to 1 Samuel 17, chapter 17, verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants of Saul? Choose ye a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be in your then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us. And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. And when Saul and all Israel heard the words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. So David's father, mind you, David's already been anointed to be king of Israel. David's father still has him working in the field with his sheep, and he tells him to take his brother some sustenance. So David gets somebody to watch over the sheep, and the next day he goes down to the armies of the Philistines. No, then the next day he goes to the army of Israel. I apologize. And that's where he sees his brethren. And like I said, and David, verse 22, and David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, again, and Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. So, one thing, the crisis in this situation, or we can say even in the market today, so where others see threats, leaders see opportunities. So, David here, he saw an opportunity. Um, this should teach us that fear creates a vacuum in leadership. The market, which in this case is Israel, had an unmet need, and a champion who could fight was needed. And David decided to be that champion, through the grace of God, through the purpose of God. And David identifies the opportunity by showing up where others are paralyzed. So let's take a look at what David does when this situation comes arise. So in verse 26, it says, And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? So David already knew there that this Philistine was already dead because he was defying the armies of the living God. And so the people answered him after this manner, saying, So shall it be done that the man that killed him So, excuse me, I need to go back to verse 25. So, verse 25 says, And the men of Israel said, Have ye seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. So David confirmed this information with the men because he had not yet heard Saul say this. So he wanted to confirm that this information was true. So a proposition comes up, the value proposition, and David identifies this value proposition. So Israel men, they reveal the reward structure. So there's great riches, to be given by the king. The king's daughter will be included, and as well as exemption from taxes for all of his father's household, whoever is to do this. So this business principle teaches us, before entering into any fight, before entering into any uh, business proposition or any business, know what incentives are going to be affiliated with that. So David doesn't just move based on emotion. He moves based on the ROI first. So the return on investment first.